Hey, what's up guys, Dai from Localized channel. Thank you very much for watching this video. Let's check it out. Interesting news from Japan today. So today's news is Tokyo sweater aimed worst June heat wave since 1875. Hundreds of people seek treatment for heat stroke as temperatures in Tokyo break nearly 150 years record for June. It's freaking hot right now. So how hot Tokyo is right now, I will show you guys my office rooftop later to see the sun and how you're gonna feel. You cannot actually feel, but I want to tell you how I feel staying outside in Tokyo. It's impossible. Let's see the numbers. When I Google Tokyo weather, it says 34 degrees Celsius. Fahrenheit is 93. These days, over 34, 35, 37 degrees Celsius every day. And on some place in the Kanto area, like north part of Tokyo, it records around 40 degrees Celsius. It's crazy. It's that the measure of the temperature, but actually how you feel like you're in the oven. You're cooked in the low heat. So I just walked to my office from the station, just around 3 minutes, soaked by my sweat. So it's very difficult to do activities outside. So what the news said is Japan is baking under scorching heat as temperatures in the country's capital Tokyo broke 150 years old record for June. It's a record high. A high of 34 degrees Celsius, 93 Fahrenheit was predicted for Tokyo on Tuesday after 3 successive days of temperature topping 35 Celsius, the worst streak of hot weather in June since record began in 1875. So those heat absorbed, accumulated in the building wall, and in the night it starts to release. So I told you you'll feel like you're in the oven, cooked very low temperature. More than 250 people were taken to hospital in Tokyo on Saturday and Sunday for treatment of heat stroke, according to Mainichi newspaper. Another 13 have been hospitalized by 9 a.m. local time on Tuesday, Fuji News Network said, because they keep wearing masks in this hot weather, under 35 degrees Celsius, wearing a mask. It's crazy. It's worse than getting COVID. Okay. Much of Japan normally be experiencing the rainy season at this time of the year, but the Japan Meteorological Agency JMA on Monday declared that the season over in the Kanto region, home to Tokyo and the neighboring Koshin area, it was the earliest end to the season since record began in 1951, a full 22 days earlier than usual. So usually right now, Japan should have to be the rainy season. So it's very humid, but not that extremely hot, and it rains every day. Those water which we store in the reservoir gonna use it during the summertime, but I'm worrying about those lack of rain. The water amount will cause the water shortage this summer. As a Tokyo local living in the city around 30 years, my experience, this is my first time to experience this heat. It's too hot to walk outside, so I'm very worrying about doing the tours the next summer. And it's difficult for people to live in this city. You cannot go outside, you have to keep staying inside under the AC. So I'm very worried about the future of the country. But also Japan has another problem. Let's keep continuing reading the news. Amid the extreme heat, the Japan government has issued a warning about power crunch, with authorities asking consumers in the Tokyo area on Tuesday to conserve electricity for a second day. But they added that residents should do what was needed to stay cool and avoid heat stroke. So turn off your TV, turn off your lights, stay in the same room as much as possible. Don't stay at your individual room. Turn on the AC. Apparently, there are some elderly people who have turned off their air conditioner because we are asking people to save energy. But please, it's this hot. Don't hesitate about cooling off. The Trade and Industry Minister Koichi Hagyuda told a news conference. So a lot of Japanese people follow the Japanese government and the social rule. So the government said they didn't say turn off your AC, but please help us to save the energy. So a lot of old people, type A person, turn off the AC, take a nap, and go to the hospital. They are sent to the hospital because of the heat stroke. The heat wave comes less than 2 weeks before a national election in which price, including the cost of electricity, are among key issues picked by the voters in opinion poll that shows slipping approval rates of Prime Minister Fumio Kishida's government. The Kishida cabinet approval was 50% in a voter survey conducted by the public broadcaster NHK on June 24-26, down from 55% last week. So let's keep continuing the news. Natsuo Yamaguchi, head of the junior partner in Kishida coalition government, warned on Monday in a campaign speech that citizens were risking heat stroke by trying to economize on power. What I would really like is for the government to tell power companies to lower costs, he was quoted by the Kyodo News Agency saying. So this is wrong. The government must decide to restart the nuclear plant's power, which keeps stopping since the big earthquake 2011 and after the Fukushima disaster. A lot of Japanese people don't want the nuclear plants opening, but it has to restart the nuclear plants. Otherwise, we keep facing this lack of electricity all the time, all the summer and all the winter. I'd like to contact the Prime Minister who currently visiting Europe. He added a reference to Kishida's attendance at the G7 summit, a significant departure for usual practice as it puts the premier out of the country during an election campaign period. So right now, Kishida went to Germany. I think he's coming back today, maybe today or tomorrow, attending G7 summit. At his attendance, Tokyo, Japan, right now, every day, super hot weather and lack of power supply. So it might affect to the coming election in July 10th. Alright, I'm heading up. I'm heading up to the rooftop of my office. Let's see how it looks like outside. Beautiful weather, isn't it? So I'm on the rooftop of my office. Very nice weather, blue sky, but the temperature right now is around 34 degrees Celsius, 35. And right now it's a little bit windy, so I still can't stay outside shooting this video. But when the wind is stopped, you're gonna start to sweat. I'll start to sweat already, and I feel like my skin is burning. And a few days ago, it was fine. That's when the temperature starts to spike on 35, 36 degrees. It's still fine because the building, the wall, is not that hot. But right now, I cannot put my hands on it. Oh, I cannot walk the street on my barefoot, of course, and I don't want to lay down on the wall or the street. It's too hot, and these heat accumulated during the daytime and starts to release at the night. So at the night temperature, it doesn't go down, so you still feel like you're in the sauna, you're in the oven, you're cooked in the low heat. You keep sweating. Oh, I start to sweat already. I just stay here in around 2-3 minutes. It's start to sweat, so it is difficult to do outside activities in the middle of Tokyo. And when you come to Tokyo during the summer, maybe next year, this year, maybe next year, take off from, you don't need to wear a mask, of course, outside, sunscreen, hat, water, and also you have to be very healthy to tour around, walk around the city. So I hope you enjoyed this video today. I'll see you guys at the next video. Thank you very much. Bye. Take care.